Welcome to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
Always a pleasure to host with you.
It is a great host to be here to host with you.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
We got a great show today.
Great show today. We have something that I like to consider the residue of one of our governors.
Mm-hmm.
Some things he left in place, and we're going to talk about that with the chancellor.
Yeah.
From WGU today.
Allison Bell's here.
Yes, Allison Bell is here, and she's going to let us know what's going on with WGU.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're happy to know that education is alive and well in the state of Indiana.
And if you want to go to school, you can.
You can, yeah. If you don't go to school, don't blame anybody else. It's your fault.
Yeah, and she's going to talk to us about how it can augment your income.
Right. And how we can increase her enrollment as well.
Right.
So we want people to get back in school and learn and be effective citizens.
And first, I want to thank our sponsors.
Yeah, Lee Costle and Crawley, who's been with us for almost 2 years now, from McCarran Christian Academy, who's right there hanging with us. And we also have Marion County.
A newer sponsor.
Yeah, newer sponsor. We hope that they'll become more and more of a sponsor. Marion County Public Health Department, talking about Healthy Start, Safe Sleep program. Come and be a part of it.
Yeah, get those infant mortality rates down.
Yes, right. That's exactly.
And certainly we want you to be a subscriber on YouTube. You can go to YouTube, put our show in the search field. It'll come up. Please subscribe while you're there, and like us on Facebook.
I like it when you say that, Pastor Jackson. Like us on Facebook. We want to be liked by you because without you, this would not be possible.
That's like a commercial.
Yeah,
we want to be liked by you.
We want to be liked by you.
Again, thanks for joining us. We have a great show for you today. When we come back, I'm going to introduce you to the Chancellor of WGU. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
Co-host Pastor Wayne Moore.
And we're joined by Chancellor Allison Bell.
Thank you.
Thanks
Hello.
for being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you're Chancellor for WGU.
That's right.
And how long have you had that responsibility?
I was appointed in early March this year, so it's pretty new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And certainly you're not new to education.
I am not. Almost my whole career has been in higher education. That's right.
Yeah, well, you have a passion for education and helping people to improve themselves through education.
That's right.
So WGU, which stands for?
Western Governors University.
And a lot of people may not know about this wonderful opportunity, higher education for underserved populations. So kind of talk about what that means.
Okay. So Western Governors University is a university that was actually established in the late 1990s by a group of bipartisan group of governors. They saw a need for education that was accessible, that made sense for adults particularly, and I think very visionary to do this online in the late 90s. So it was launched as a national online not-for-profit university, fully accredited. And in 2010, Governor Daniels at the time, Mitch Daniels, saw an opportunity with Western Governors University. Anybody in the United States could enroll in WGU at the time, but people didn't know about it because it's not for profit. They don't pour their money. This is still true. We don't put our money into marketing. We put our money into our students. So as a way to spread the word in Indiana and increase enrollment, it was Mitch Daniels' idea to create a state affiliate. So same university, same quality, with a slightly new twist on the name, WGU Indiana. Mm-hmm. And by doing that, not only did it create a brand and an opportunity to increase awareness for Indiana residents to see this as a resource, but because we're a state private university, our students can not only qualify for federal financial aid, but state financial aid.
Phenomenal.
Yes,
yeah.
It was very important. And in any amount of help financially will help us create or reach our mission of increasing access to higher ed, particularly for the underserved. The whole point is to give folks an opportunity to gain the educational credentials that they want and need without, without going into too much debt.
Yeah.
That is the thing I noticed about what Chancellor brings to the table. For about 12 months, you can do a year of higher education for less than $7,000.
That's right. That's right.
Some
Undergraduate.
semesters are $7,000.
It's about, yes, yeah, we're much
Just
less.
one semester.
Much more affordable than what you would find is the national average to pay in tuition. The other thing that I think is important is that our tuition is a flat rate. So students pay their tuition for 6 months at a time. And in that 6 months, they have to complete their minimum amount of credits in order to be considered full-time for satisfactory academic progress. But if they are able to, they can accelerate and increase and earn more credits, so earn more than full-time credits without paying any more money. So not only are we affordable if they're just progressing at the normal pace, but if they accelerate, it becomes incredibly affordable.
Phenomenal. Question, a school of this caliber, say you do your undergrad, what graduate courses, not courses, but schools that hold graduate programs, what is the acceptability after you come out of this particular university?
Oh, our degrees, students, for one thing, I'd like to point out that WGU also offers master's degrees.
That's what we need to know. In what area? What curriculums?
So
what
we have 4
disciplines?
colleges. We have the College of IT, College of Business, College of Education, and College of Health Professions. And we have undergraduate and graduate degrees in all 4 colleges, total of 60 academic programs, and growing. Growing within those colleges. But students can earn their undergraduate degree at WGU Indiana.
And then go into masters.
And then go on to master's. They could go to another school. Our degrees are, because it's a fully accredited university, we're accredited the same way that Indiana University or Ball State is. So our degrees are recognized by employers, but also by other universities. So our students are admitted to other grad programs.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, because there are colleges and universities that don't have that privilege.
That's true.
And people need to check into this. At the dollar amount is phenomenal.
That's right.
Does the dollar amount change much from undergrad to
graduate.
Yeah.
The graduate programs cost a little bit more, but it's not significantly higher.
Okay.
No, it's still very affordable.
That's good. So what's your diversity? I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
Pastor. What is your diversity numbers?
Well, that's something we're really proud of. 70% of our students come from one of 4 underrepresented populations. Actually, most of those 70% represent more than one of those different segments of the population. So, that means first generation. That means low socioeconomic status, rural residents, and underrepresented minority.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me say it for you, Chancellor. How many Afro-Americans you have in this school?
Well, I would love to answer that exactly, but I don't have that memorized. I would be glad to send you that data.
Yeah, I would love to know how many are taking advantage of this in my
Yes.
community in which I come from.
And we do have that data. I just
Yeah.
don't have it here. I'm still new.
That's okay. Yeah.
So you term it a convenient degree. So talk about some of the points of convenience, because generally you enroll and then you've got to go on campus and
Yeah.
you've got to go through all of that and site visit and get all that kind of thing going. So talk about the advantage of this program and the convenience points.
Great, I'd love to. So it is all online. Our students never have to show up anywhere. In fact, when they graduate, many of them do attend commencement, and we did have a national commencement in Anaheim this last weekend that was well attended. Often that's the first time that our students meet their faculty mentors, which I'll talk about in a minute, face to face. So they may have completed their whole degree program, talked with their faculty mentor every week, sometimes more than once a week. Never seen them in person, never maybe even seen a picture of them, though they often share pictures. So that makes it really convenient. They don't have to go anywhere to do.
A lot of tears.
What?
A lot of tears.
A lot of tears at commencement. You
Yeah.
better believe it. I have been to many of our commencements. We hold about 4 of them a year, and I've never left with dry eyes. We have commencement speakers that their stories are amazing. But the convenience. So because it's online, it makes it very convenient from the first moment of inquiry through the enrollment process, which we have enrollment counselors that are very high touch, very supportive. They make connections with prospective students in a way that mentors do. It's not high pressure though, because we're not for profit. We're not about just, while our enrollments are increasing, that's not our goal in and of itself. We want to enroll people that will be successful. So our enrollment counselors really get to know the students, and they'll talk with them on the phone and share information back and forth electronically. And then once the students are enrolled, part of the convenience is many online programs just take a traditional classroom setting and put it online, which is great. That's a step in the right direction for people to access education. But at WGU, we actually don't have scheduled class times. The only scheduled, with a few exceptions, the only scheduled time for students is 1 meeting a week with their faculty mentor. And it might be a 15-minute conversation, it might be more, but it's a check-in, it's support. The faculty mentor helps guide the student as they work through their academic material, helps them set goals and milestones, holds them accountable, will refer them to resources, all done on the student's schedule. So the student picks the time they'll meet.
Okay.
And then they challenge the academic material at times that work for them. You know, we can track when students are working, and the busiest time in our student portal where they're accessing their learning resources are after 11 o'clock at night, whatever their local time zone is. So students are working through the night, and evening appointments with their mentors are most popular.
Outstanding. So we'll put a pin right there. We got to take a break. And we'll come back. We'll have more from Chancellor Allison Bell, WGU. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices, and we're joined today by Chancellor Allison Bell of WGU, and sharing some wonderful things with us about this wonderful educational opportunity right here in the state of Indiana.
That's right.
Or that is to say, right here in our own backyard. So there's probably a lot of folks who are watching. Kind of take us through step one. What website do they need to visit? And then there might be some folks wondering, well, you know, how can I pay for this? So talk to us about the different ways to finance the education along the way.
Great. So yes, everything's online. You can just Google WGU Indiana. You'll get right there. And they'll probably, shortly after you get on the website, be a chat window that asks if you would like to chat with someone. But there are also phone numbers to call. But I just want to emphasize there's no high pressure going on here. They just want to answer questions and be helpful. We have, you know, and we've mentioned the affordability. So outright, the tuition is low, but we have lots of ways to assist folks. One, we're generous with scholarships, and there's a whole scholarships page that you can access from our website.
Just need to qualify.
All different kinds of scholarships. And in fact, in the last year, WGU Indiana has awarded $500,000 in scholarships to
$500,000?
students.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very generous. So that's definitely something to look into. The other thing that I'd like to really emphasize about WGU that I'm proud of is that we work hard to make sure that students pay attention to how much debt they're going into. So even though we're affordable, many of our students take out some amount of loans to cover their tuition. And so we have, in 2013, we launched a responsible borrowing initiative where we encouraged, it was just an education of prospective and current students. Here's the amount of loan that you qualify for, but here are some tools to help you determine how much you actually need. And we discourage students from borrowing to their maximum. Now, it was still their choice, but just through this campaign, we reduced the amount of debt by 40% among our students, and WGU graduates graduate with less than half the amount of debt as the national average.
Wow. Entry exam. Is there an entry exam to get into this particular university?
There are no specific exams. There are some assessments that you take. Like I said, we want our students to be successful.
Okay.
So just some answers to questions so that they can self-assess, and the enrollment counselor can help them assess whether or not online learning is appropriate for them, if it's going to be a good learning style.
Chancellor, another question.
Sure.
Prior assessment learning, you familiar with that term?
Yes.
Do you accept?
So glad you asked that.
Okay, that's what I needed.
Our entire model is competency-based.
Great.
Every bit of, that's why our model is flexible. So we measure what you know. So the traditional model of higher education measures learning by time in the seat. By that I mean, no matter what, no matter how quickly or slowly you learn the topic, you have to use your entire semester to get that credit. At WGU, we just measure what you know. And so if you come in with, which most of our adults do, if you come in with some prior learning,
Right.
Either through learning on the job, or perhaps you took some classes in the past, but maybe they didn't transfer in, or you didn't complete them, you can use our learning resources to fill in any gaps. And when you're ready, you challenge the assessment, which is there are either objective assessments, which are exams, comprehensive knowledge exams, or the other kind of assessment would be a project that you submit. Those are evaluated, and if you show a certain level of competency, if you show that you know the subject, you get a passing grade in the class.
Right, right.
So that's why our students can complete their degree more quickly.
And so the working class can transcend from the area of middle class, lower middle class. Because of this program, they can reach upper middle class.
Yes.
If the middle class does not leave us within the next election.
Right. That's an important
Yeah, very
caveat.
important. Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
What we see is that we all know that a degree makes a difference
Right.
for individuals, and then for their family and for their community. I mean, there's a real ripple effect. And what we know for sure is that our students, on average, after 2 years after graduation, on average increase their pre-enrollment income by about more than $12,000.
Yeah.
So it's really, there's a return on this investment. We know that
Yeah.
Very quickly.
very quickly.
Yeah.
166% increase in enrollment
I
since
saw that.
2011.
I saw that. I saw that.
That's right.
That's amazing.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, that's what happens when you offer something that makes sense, and that's without a heavy marketing campaign.
Wow.
Just imagine if we can get the word out more.
Yeah, it's going out.
And
It's going to go out now.
What is
With
it,
your
1
help,
Yeah,
and I want to see the
1.5
blip.
million people have access to this channel.
That's amazing.
WHMB TV.
That's great. Yeah,
And so
I really
hopefully we can
appreciate
get you some business. How's that?
it. I'm looking forward to seeing that blip in our enrollment.
And what's wonderful is you never run out of seats.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's
That's
one way of
right.
putting
It's
it.
unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And the dormitories are never full.
That's right. We don't have to worry about our facilities.
Right.
We
Yeah.
we just pour it all back into our students.
Yeah, the coffee shops are free, so you got your laptops there and all that
Yeah.
sort of
That's
thing.
right.
So for books and stuff like that?
They're included.
Included?
Included in the tuition. The electronic versions are included in the tuition.
Really?
That's right.
You know, Dr. Allison, I seen where it said $7,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So how many semesters are in that 1 year? Is it 2, 3
Yeah, so we go by terms. Our terms are.
How many terms a year?
It's 6-month term.
Okay, so it's
two.
$3,500 per term?
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't miss out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't miss out on this
Seriously.
opportunity.
You can $3,500.
Yeah.
You can't beat it for high quality. I mean,
And
really.
that's almost
Scholarships?
12 hours. If you did it for, if you took, you could almost take 6 to 10 hours, 12 hours. How many hours you wanted to take a semester?
You can do more than
Around
that.
30. Yeah, you can do more than that. $3,500.
And if you get this degree in Indiana, it's going to have a lot of value.
That's
So-
right. Our employers recognize the diplomas from WGU Indiana. We survey our employers. They're very satisfied with the folks that they hire. So it's a powerful degree.
Well, I will say this, nobody else will say it. It's one thing, Mitch did a good job with that, didn't he?
Yeah, you did.
Very pleased with his idea to launch WGU Indiana. I personally am very pleased.
Yeah, that's what was his sole idea, I guess. It was a good idea.
It was a good idea.
And we'll stick a pin right there.
Yeah.
Chancellor, thank you.
Thank
Been a
you.
great
for
guest
coming.
today.
Thank you so much. It's been a
All the
pleasure.
best to WGU.
Thank you.
And your efforts in leading.
And we're praying men, and we're going to pray for your success as chancellor.
I believe in that, and I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We have the rundown right after this, so don't go away. We'll be back after these messages. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
And I'm your executive producer, Faith McKinney.
And what a wonderful segment, a couple of segments
Yeah.
with the Chancellor there.
Yeah, Miss Allison Bell.
Yeah, first I'd heard of WGU.
Oh, come
Really?
on now.
Yeah.
You never heard the commercials?
I don't watch a lot of TV.
Oh,
Yeah,
Except,
well,
for,
that's
except
understandable.
for this show.
Yeah, this is a show to
Of
watch.
course.
I mean, I'm telling you, man. Yeah, it's advertised, but it's not as. And she's right. They have managed the resources for the students and for the school to survive, which is phenomenal. But to see people who are underserved have this type of opportunity is phenomenal to me. $3,500 a semester. You can get a.
And they call it terms. but
Terms. They call
semester,
it-
yeah.
terms. $15,000 to $18,000. You have a bachelor's.
beat it.
Can't beat it. Bachelor's
no,
degree.
not at all.
Can't beat that. And I hope people that will catch on to this because we're living in a time, especially the IT and the medical field, which they do enormously well.
Well, they got 60 degrees in 4 colleges.
Right.
It's a lot.
So young people need to understand that IT and medical information for discipline is given at this particular university at a low cost. At a low cost, and I think that is phenomenal to see that. And it's online. It's
Right.
online. It's online. All you got to do is develop a discipline for doing online work, and you can get it done.
Yeah, they eliminated the barriers,
Right.
but that discipline's up to you.
Yeah, it is. It is. Nobody's going to give you a degree.
And as I understand it, the books are included in all
And
that.
the $3,500
Yeah.
a term. That's amazing.
Because generally, I mean, you go to school and you tack all that on, the books. I mean, you pay the tuition, but
Oh,
then you
yeah.
have to go get your books.
And I've done some research. The Cummings, the Lillys, the Rolls Royces, the Allisons. These are major companies that have bought into this particular degree program, which is phenomenal.
Yeah. So make sure you avail yourself to this wonderful opportunity. You can Google WGU and get in there and chat with someone. There's scholarships available,
Right.
Loans that will meet your budget. All right? So please make sure you do that. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you same time next time.